Awesome. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. I really appreciate it. It's always exciting to talk to people who are interested in getting into real estate. Hopefully, you guys feel welcome. I want you to ask a lot of questions. My goal is by the time you leave today, you guys are going to be geniuses in knowing exactly what it takes to get into real estate. So, first, what I'd like to do real quick, my name is Darren Philippi. I'm the team leader of the office, which means I run the office. I spend most of my time coaching and training real estate agents and helping them grow their business. I also tell the story of what it takes to get in the business, and then also what Keller Williams does to kind of help you get to where you need to go. So I've got a couple of agents here. I'd like to have them introduce themselves. Everybody who's a licensed agent, if you can kind of stand and raise your hand or whatever, and just say your name and how long you've been in the business and stuff like that. We'll start at the back because we want to finish with Ozzy. He's the stud.
Hey, my name's Mitch. I've been in the business. It'll be 29 years this December.
And what do you love about real estate?
The opportunity to help people fulfill their dreams or solve their problems. I think that's probably what it is.
Cool. I love it. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Mitch.
I'm Crystal. This is Steven Saka, and I'm a first year. I recently celebrated my 1 year with Keller Williams. I like Mitch. I like just helping people, and it doesn't feel like work. It's fun, and I really, really enjoy it.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Crystal.
I'm Corey.
Corey, you need to stand up, please.
I know he says this to me every time.
I know, it's my shirt joke.
I've been with Keller Williams. I'm going on my second, well, it'll be 2 years in December. I got into real estate because it is something that I can do on my schedule. I've got 3 girls that are extremely active, so it allows me to still be able to be there for them and be mom and help my family out a little bit.
Awesome. You're the best. Richard.
Richard Ballin. I've been an agent 9 years, and I got into it for money. That was my first thing was money, and I like that. That was good. But you know what? It developed into I really love the challenge of going on appointments and listing appointments and knowing there's going to be like 5 other agents there. And it sounds funny, but that really became kind of a drive for me. If I didn't come away with getting the client, it really bothered me. So I did a lot of training and stuff, but the money is still, it's great. So the new people here, there is a great possibility of you making like the most money you've ever made, but then you do have to put in the work, put in the time, and the best thing I can tell you that I learned in the very beginning is you have to treat this like a job. You've got anywhere else that you go to work at 9 and you get off at 5 or something like that. This is the same thing. So some people come in and go, well, I'm just gonna, you want to make it to the top and be on the top, and you really need to put in full-time work. So anyway, it's a great industry,
Awesome. Thank you, Richard. Ozzy.
My name is Ozzy Lopez. I'm here. I've been an agent here for 2.5 years, and one of the reasons I love real estate is because it's one of the few businesses where you can actually start your own business with very little funds, very little overhead, very little expenses, and grow it into a really big empire. All it takes is a lot of hard work, grit, and obviously dedication and persistence, and we'll get there. As long as you apply the fundamentals that are crucial, we can all be successful, and that's why I like real estate, because it's a fair game to everybody, right? There's no discrimination. If you put in the fundamentals and the hard work, it's there. The results are there.
Awesome. I love it. Awesome. Thank you, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. So a couple things for the people who came here, the visitors. I'd like to kind of find out, what do you guys want to hear tonight? I want to make sure I hit the points that you guys are looking for, and then just to let you know, we'll have final questions at the end, but you're welcome to ask the questions throughout the process. So what are you guys here for? What do you want from this? Yeah.
Well, something I want to know is like how getting the ropes when starting as a real estate agent, how to go out there in the field and turn prospects into leads. How do you actually start making those leads into transactions?
Okay. Okay. Conversion. SI1? TLA?
I'm sorry.
I know that. Cool, I need to count that as the same creating business. Okay, good, awesome. What else? What else you guys want to hear? What do you want to learn?
Well, what it takes to get in.
What it takes is in like what school and
From not knowing anything in the business to actually be able to get into it.
okay. How to okay. Cool. What else? Yeah.
Why Keller Williams?
Okay, we'll talk a little bit later. Good, I like that. What else?
Maybe how to overcome a recession that we had a few years ago.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna call that basically what's the market, and we'll talk about the shift. Okay. Market, and then we're gonna call it the shift. Okay? Anything else? Yeah.
Training.
Training.
What kind of training you guys offer?
Okay. Good, I like that. What else? Okay, that's good. Okay, we're gonna cover, I would say probably almost everything here, plus a bunch more. Is that cool?
Great.
Cool. All right, awesome. Now, why real estate? What do you guys, what intrigues you about getting into real estate? I know you're sitting here all quiet. What do you hear?
Mine would have to be just in control of my own, what I can do with myself, not being set to a limited amount for my efforts.
Okay. Is she the only one that wants to get into real estate for that reason? Okay, good, I like that. What else?
Money, schedule,
Okay,
not having a clock in 9 to 5.
good. I love it. Who wants to be their own boss, right? Yeah, sign me up. Cool. Anything else?
Just a good fun job. I mean, satisfying, being able to help people. So.
Good, awesome. What do you,
Or just here for education.
check it out, right? Cool, I love it. All right, well, let me give you, we're going to start from the scratch, right? So I'm going to kind of give you a roadmap for how real estate agents get involved in the process. All right, so I'm breaking this down at the very, very beginning at first, okay? And so some of you guys are going to say, oh, I totally know this stuff. Just be patient. We'll get into some stuff that is new for you. So first of all, when someone wants to sell their house, let's say they're trying to sell a $200,000 home, they have to find a real estate agent to sell that home. Now they can sell it by themselves, but only like 5 people are going to find out that it's for sale. So they're not going to get a whole lot of money for their house. So what they do is they say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Real Estate Agent, I want to hire you to market my business or market my house and make sure that I get the most money that I possibly can as fast as possible. Okay? So what they do is they hire a listing agent to list their home. In this transaction, typically a listing agent is going to say, for me to sell your house, it's going to be a 6% commission that you're going to be paying. Some of it, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 8, but on average, just to keep my math easy, we're going to use it as 6. Okay? So this person pays a 6% commission at closing. Okay? Now what happens is this listing agent takes the 6% and turns it into $6,000 or 3%. And he says, I'm going to give any buyer's agent that brings a buyer to help me sell this house, I'm going to give him my other half of this commission. So he keeps 3% and he gives 3%, typically. Now it's different for everything, but for generics, that's what we're looking at here. Now the cool thing is when you're bringing a buyer to the table, the buyer actually never pays for the commission. It's always from here. So there's no reason why you wouldn't ever use a real estate agent. Okay? So what happens is this process, typically once the house gets listed and gets put into escrow, this process is about 45 days. Unless it's cash, you can go faster, but ballpark is about 45 days. After the 45 days is up, and it takes a little while to kind of do this part, and a lot of stuff behind the scenes is done, this is when the payday happens. So this guy gets paid $6,000 for selling a house, and this guy gets $6,000 for paying for selling or listing the house. Now with this person, even though they're a real estate agent, they have to work for a brokerage. Okay? The brokerage basically says, hey, you can sell your home and you can use my license to sell or to buy and sell homes. So there's 3 different types of brokerages, and we'll talk a little bit about Keller Williams. Most of this stuff we're going to be talking about just real estate in general, but I'll touch about the 3 different types of real estate companies. Before I get into this, is there any questions with this? The process. Okay, good. You guys are so excited. There's cookies over there if you need to get some cookies. All right. So there are 3 different types of companies out there. We're going to call one of them is traditional. Traditional or kind of an old type company. Those would be companies like Century 21, Coldwell Banker. They'd be Berkshire Hathaway, or that would be Prudential. But those companies, those big companies that you've seen when you're driving around saying, hey, I recognize that name, I recognize that company. These companies, they're great companies. They typically do a pretty good job with their training. They have a great brand. They'll give you tools like websites and databases and all that kind of stuff. Okay? And then they're usually national. Okay? Gary Keller's company started off like this. But what happened is what happened is his top 6 producers end up going to a different type of company. We're going to call it a 100% shop. Those are kind of the local mom and pop shops where their whole philosophy is, hey, we're going to give you, you're going to be on your own, but you get to have 100% of your commission. You just pay us a fee, and I'm just going to call it $500. So what happened is his top 6 producers went over to this company, and so he said, hold on for a second, guys. He had about 50 other agents in the office at that point. He took his top, like 16 agents, and he says, guys, let's create this company. Let's restructure this company to be a company that no one would ever want to leave. So he created KW, or changed it to be an interdependent company. All right. Now, the difference between us, Mitch.
So the traditional would be the dependent company, and the 100% would be the independent company.
Correct.
And Keller Williams is the interdependent company.
That is correct, and thank you for pointing that out to me. So that's kind of how it went about. All right. Now what happens, and we'll talk a little about the differences. When you're a brand new agent, when you go to a company like this, you're going to get good training, good brand, all the tools. You're going to be probably on a split that's going to look like this, a 50-50 split. So remember that $6,000? It's really $3,000, and the other $3,000 goes to the brokerage. Sometimes they'll make it a 60-40, or sometimes they'll do a 70-30, and you pay these for all your transactions from now on. They'll also have a 6% franchise fee, usually between 6 and 8% franchise fee, that you'll be paying that fee forever. Okay? Then they'll also have a transaction fee between $300 and $700, which means for every transaction you're going to be paying $300 to $700 per transaction. And the monthly fee is going to be between $40 and $100. Okay? That's a traditional company. That's the way it's always been, and a lot of the companies out there are like that. Any questions with this? Okay, so the 100% shops, who plays football around here? Who's played football when they were a kid? Okay, perfect. So when you're a kid in football, you go and you join a team and you had pads, right? And did you have a coach? Right? and you had the pads and the coach, you play the game, right? Well, could you imagine joining a football team with no pads and no coach, and you're just out there playing the game? While everybody else had pads and had a coach, how successful would you be?
That doesn't sound.
Yeah, and you'd probably start getting gun shy after a while, right? Okay, so that's why companies like this is actually good, because they're going to give you all the tools, all the training, rather than here, you can go, but you're going to have to bring everything you got, and no one's going to help you. Okay, their model is not to make you a lot of money. Their model is, even if you close no transactions, you're going to be paying $100 a month just to keep your license there. Okay? So what happens is what Keller Williams is all about. We're similar to this, except for we have a thing called, first of all, number one, we are the #1 training company in the world. Not just in real estate, but in all industries. There wasn't a real estate company in the top 100.
Who said that we were the #1
Training magazine. So an independent third party said, KW, you guys are freaking good. And it wasn't just because we have a lot of classes. You know why we actually received the award? Because our agents are getting results. When you come here, you actually will produce. We have this thing is called a T2. The T2, it's a training tracker. What happens is after we received this award, I started tracking the people that were coming to this office and coming to the classes. And the agents that would go to one class or less than a month, I put them in one group. And the agents that were going to 2 classes or more in a month, I put them in another group. The agents that were going to 1 class or less a month in my office were averaging about $26,000 a year. Okay? You're making money, but probably not the reason why you want to get into real estate. The agents that were going to 2 classes or more a month, their average income was $96,000 a year. $65,000 difference between the agents that would go to 1 class or less, or 2 classes or more. To me, that was proof that, holy crap, these guys know what they're doing. If I come here and learn how to do real estate, I'm going to learn how to do this correctly, and it will make me money. Okay? So now we're ranked #1 in the world. We're also the largest real estate company in the world by agent count, which is cool because when people sell their house here and move to Florida, you can pick up the phone to the dude in Florida and say, you call my position in Florida and say, hey, I need an agent that's awesome, that knows how to work with buyers, that is also fluent in Spanish. Who do you have there? And all you do is you hand over the lead. When that transaction closes, you get paid a referral fee. That happens to you guys all the time.
Ooh,
Easiest money in the world.
There, I got $1,200 from a transaction in Alaska.
There you go.
We had 35 this year so far.
35 transactions. And all you do is you pick up the phone, hand it off. So you don't need to get licenses in all these different places. You just hand it over. Pretty cool? Okay. So we're also the largest, #1 largest. I'm going to show you a little video. We're going to talk about our culture and all that kind of stuff and why KW is pretty sweet. But awesome training, awesome culture. We've got the best technology and best tools that are out there. We got a mobile app. We got some. The thing that Keller Williams is totally unique about is we teach you guys not how to be real estate agents, but how to be business owners. Not only to the point of just being a real estate professional, but actually how to remove yourself from the business and be able to create a machine so you could do other things, other passions. Because your passion probably isn't real estate. We do this all for a reason, right? Mitch, why do you do your real estate? What's your big why?
My grandkids and fishing.
So you do real estate so you can live the life that you want.
Yep.
Okay? So our culture is different. When it comes to real estate, we don't think real estate's the world. We use real estate as the tool to create the income that we need to live the life that we want. Okay? So, largest, great tools, brand, all that stuff. We have those same things too. The cool thing is at Keller Williams, you start off on a 70-30 split. That's just what it is. But you're capped at $15,000. Gary Keller's people says, hey, we're willing to pay fees, but just stop it at some point. These guys, you pay forever. On your first transaction, your 100th transaction, you're paying forever. These guys, you're paying forever, and they didn't help you. 70-30 split, capped at $15,000. We have a 6% franchise fee. That's also capped at $3,000. You're done paying your fees once you're capped out. Typically, depending on the size of the houses, between 6 and 10 transactions in a year, okay? Monthly is $40 a month. That pays for all your tech and everything else like that. What makes Keller Williams amazing is not just the model, but our culture. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But those are the 3 different types of companies that are out there, and that's kind of why what happens is you go through this process, each one of these guys works for one of these companies. Okay? I'm going to show you one video about Keller Williams in a second. Any questions about these different types of companies? Okay, you guys are so excited. We got to get some sugar in here, huh? Let's go, huh? Okay. All right, so let me show you a little, it's about 2.5, 3 minute video about Keller Williams. And then we're going to talk about what it takes to get your real estate license. Is that cool?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, amen. All right, so I'm going to move this over to the side. Jim, would you do me a favor and give me an MREA book?
Yep.
Life in so many ways. Keller Williams has taught me that leverage is the key to really being free.
All the money in the world without family and health is pointless.
What great joy. I'm impacting a lot of lives, and you know what? They're impacting mine as well. Keller Williams has let me live a bigger life than anything I could have ever possibly imagined.
There's nothing better than a career that actually is constantly teaching and training and evolving you as a person. And Keller Williams is a company that actually will give you all of those things.
KW has taught me to run my real estate career like a business and hold each dollar accountable.
So I learned to break through ceilings by building a team of specialists. So not only has it impacted my financial life, but it's also impacted my team members as well. And the cool thing is, $100,000 has to your profit sharing just by sharing what I know and all the opportunities that KW has to offer to other agents.
Through MAPS coaching and training, I've learned how to go from B to B. Also, the best byproduct is the friendships with other KW agents all over the country.
A business worth owning looks like a business that has comma signs, dollar signs, decimal points, no parentheses. That's a business worth owning, because at the end of the day, we're in the business for profit.
But it's also got to be about rewarding inside and feeling good about what you're accomplishing. And I think if you can match those 2 things, have great profit and have great synergy and culture, you really got business with them. I started with KW right out of high school, my freshman year of college. First year I sold 11 homes. I've been with the company for 12 years. In 2010 I sold over 600 homes and was the #1 KW agent in the world.
This past year, in 2013, we finished with well over $1.5 million in profit.
When I first started with Keller Williams, I had a sales business that I was struggling to grow, and I owned 1 rental property. Now it's 7 years later. That sales business has grown to be a 7-level sales business. We have a property management company. We have 4 market centers, 1 business center, a staging and design company, a home building and development company, and we now own over $50 million worth of real estate assets.
Growth means freedom. So a business worth owning to me is essentially a business of people, all growing and all going the same direction for a common goal to help everyone get where they want to be.
I have a personal goal to make 100 agents in our market center millionaires through real estate.
Keller Williams has helped me to build market centers, to get ownership in market centers of my own, to build a portfolio of real estate rental properties, to get a profit sharing check each month, even to build my own teaching business within Keller Williams University.
A life worth living is very simply being able to wake up and be happy you're awake and you have something to look forward to and can do things in a generous way with gratitude. You know, we just took a month in Marco Island. I could still, watch over business. Never thought of doing that before. Family vacations, it just makes me weepy.
The things I've learned in Keller Williams, such as Bolt, Ignite, financially, it's allowed me opportunities to go do anything I want with my family.
8 years ago, thanks to profit sharing, we were able to adopt a baby. And I thought all along, this profit sharing, he'll be able to go to school anywhere he wants to. And it's quite prophetic because we just found out that there's some special needs, and I will truly be able to help take care of my child for the rest of my life.
It's been a lifelong dream of mine and my family's to go to Africa on a safari. And this year, as my mom retires, we're all going to go and celebrate that in Africa. And I don't think that's something that would have been possible if I didn't really understand the core principles of God, family, and business, and how the business can really support the first two.
My kids are in college, Keller Williams is helping me pay that bill. I love that part of it.
When deals close.
Okay, first of all, is that kind of cool? Okay, second of all, how much did you hear about real estate? It wasn't really about real estate, because if you notice, our culture at Keller Williams, we don't use real estate to be our lives. We want to use the real estate to live the life that we want. That's what's cool about this place. Did you guys hear about how they talked about profit share?
Yes.
Okay, a lot of you guys, I didn't even get what that was. Let me explain this to you real quick. And I'm going to show you a quick video that's going to show you why our culture is so amazing. If you go to another company, there's the owner, there's a manager, and there's a broker. Those are the three guys or girls who are typically in charge of making sure that you succeed. You might be in an office of 100, 200 people in that office, but you're stuck with 2 or 3 people that really are in charge of making sure that you know what needs to be done. Keller Williams, I've got 180 agents in this office here, and our purpose is to help you increase your business. I'm going to show you why, okay? So I'm going to show you this quick video. I'm going to stop in a couple of parts, okay?
Agents who haven't packed pay. When deals close, agents who haven't packed pay company dollar to the market center. The market center uses that money to pay its bills. What's left over is profit. Every real estate business is in business for profit, and usually the owners keep all of that profit. This practice makes sense. Owners invest in businesses with the hope of seeing a return. At Keller Williams Realty, we do things a little differently. We believe in growing the business together. So we split the profit between the owners who took the risk and the associates who have helped grow the market center. Roughly 52% goes to the owners who took the risk, and roughly 48% goes to the associates who helped grow the market center.
Okay, so like I was talking about, those other companies, the owner is the one who keeps the profit, right? Keller Williams, the owners share basically half of the profit. And the other half is distributed between the agents. Okay? Now you guys have a question. One of you guys is going to ask it. How do you guys distribute it, right? That's your job, that's your cue. How do I get a piece of that, right? All right.
So, how is it dispersed? We figure out what percentage of the market center's profit is a result of that associate, and we take that percentage of the profit share pool and disperse it through the branches of that associate's profit share tree on a monthly basis. The associate sponsor gets half, the associate sponsor's sponsor gets 10%, and so on until all of it is dispersed through 7 levels of sponsorship.
Okay. Anybody ever gone to a restaurant before that was just awesome?
Yeah.
Right? When you go to an awesome restaurant, what do you typically do?
Tip well.
Tip well, number one, but what else?
Tell people.
You gotta tell everybody about it, right? Now you're not working for that restaurant, but man, this is a good place. Well, at Keller Williams, the cool thing is, as you are working at Keller Williams as a real estate agent, you're gonna love what we have here. And so as you're doing transactions, you're gonna talk to agents that are either in pain or they're not getting support or they have no tools. You gotta say, you gotta check out K-Dub. This place is awesome. What happens is if they decide to join Keller Williams because of you become their sponsor. So for instance, if they end up closing a transaction, They join Keller Williams and close a transaction. Let's say their transaction brings a couple of $100 of profit to the office. All the other companies, the owner keeps all of that profit, right? Keller Williams, our owners only keep half, and they share it with the other agents. So in this situation, you would receive $50 or 50%, not from the commission from that agent, but from the owner's pocket that they normally keep. Whoever introduced you would get 10%, and it goes 7 levels down. Doesn't even have to, your friend doesn't even have to be in Vegas, they could be in Florida. And when that transaction closes in Florida, the owner of that Florida office will pay you. Why do I share this with you now? It's because if you decide to get into real estate, you're going to go to real estate school. And you're going to be talking to other people in the school, and they're like, yeah, I went to this company, and they're okay. And you're like, dude, you got to check out Keller Williams. The place is awesome. And you could actually let me help build your profit share. It's free money. Last year we paid $143,000 to the agents. Last year I made, by doing nothing by the way, just hanging out, I made an additional $10,000. Zero risk. Mitch, you just bought a house this year.
Yeah.
You used, go ahead.
Yeah, I saved my profit share for the last 3 years and put down, and between down payment and closing costs, about $30,000 towards my purchase of the home.
It's free money. So what, number one, yes, the passive income's cool, but what it does is it changes the environment of this place. It makes it so you're not determined on just the broker or the assistant broker or the manager to help me out. You've got 180 agents in this office that get that if I can help Richard close a transaction, that brings more profit to the office. My profit share is bigger. Kind of cool? So that's the difference, and that's why our culture is such a cool place to work. Is it cool? It is freaking cool, right? Any questions on KW before I move on to getting your license? You guys can eat the cookies, you don't have to wait until afterwards, all right? Okay.
You realize if you don't eat the cookies,
I'm going
somebody
to.
else eats the cookies, and he doesn't want to eat the
No,
cookies.
I do not. Okay, so who is, Darren, I'm definitely getting into real estate. Who is Darren? I don't know if I'm going to get into real estate or not, dude. Okay, cool. So this is what I suggest. If you do not know if you're going to get into real estate, go and get this book. This book is called the MREA book, of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Gary Keller wrote this book. He's the founder of Keller Williams. This has nothing to do with Keller Williams, but what he did, he said, I'm going to go and get a bunch of top producers across the country that were at different companies, by the way. He said, let's create a manual so people can follow this manual on how to become a millionaire real estate agent. You invest in this book, it's $20, $25. You read through this, and it goes, and if you're like inspired and like, crap, this is awesome, then you start school. If you read this book, you're like, no thank you, you just invested $20, $25 now. Okay? No matter what, this will help you run any type of business, not just real estate. This is basically in the industry, this is kind of like the reference book or the Bible of how do I do my real estate business. Keller Williams teaches you how, basically, we use this book as our manual to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So, pretty cool? Okay, so if you're not sure if you're going to get into real estate, read this book. You get it at the library, you can buy it on Amazon, I think $15. You can get it from us, $25. Okay? Awesome. If you do know you want to do real estate, this is the process. Open up your red books. Alright. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of key parts of this red book. I'll be in charge of this. You're going to take this first sheet, you're going to put it down, and you're going to first look at this thing right here. This is what I'm going to be working on. This is the process of getting into real estate. Okay? Oh. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. thing you want to do if you're going to get into real estate is you got to get your fingerprints. That is what takes the longest. It's going to cost $66. This is your background checks, making sure that you are not a professional felon. Okay? For you're going to say, Dan, where do I go to get my fingerprints? You're going to flip about 7 pages back and you're going to find this sheet. On this sheet, you're going to point, you can go 4 down to Fingerprint Pros. They do it the fastest. They do it the best. You could go to any of these and you're totally fine. But to make your life easy, just go to Fingerprint Pros. $66. Okay? So then you're gonna say, dude, I was just fingerprinted yesterday. I was just fingerprinted last week. Well, you get to do it again. Okay? It's the man they love taking money from us. Right? Okay. That's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is you now pick a real estate school. So, if you look 3 or 4 pages back, you're going to find a sheet that looks like this. These are all the real estate schools that you guys can go to online or in person. Okay? I suggest 2. And again, you can go to any of these. But I would look at either Key Realty School or Real Estate School of Nevada. Both these guys are great at school. They're not great companies for real estate, but they're great at school. Okay? They're going to teach you everything you need to know. The other reason why I like these guys is they have offices on both sides of town, and you can do it online or in person. And a lot of times, a combination of the both. Okay? Any questions there? Oh, good question, because it's like you know what's going to happen next. So, yeah, so you guys can go on a Groupon. Key Realty and Real Estate School of Nevada, both of them have Groupon. Typically, you're looking at between, if it's online, $100 up to in-person and studies and everything, $450. Okay? It just depends on how you learn. Some people, like the math, they're like, I need somebody to help me out with this. Some people don't have a flexible schedule. So it's just a matter of what's going to fit for you. Now, my brother, he's not a genius, but up in Washington, went to real estate school online, and he took the test like 5 times and failed it all the times. And he missed it by like 1 or 2 every single time. If you would have gone in person, you wouldn't have had that problem. He is my brother. So it just depends on what you guys want, how your schedule works. A lot of the classes will be in the morning and at night, so you're able to work your schedule and stuff like that. Okay? Any questions about the schools? Okay. So from once you start the school, I guess. Just kidding.
Just, if you haven't been in the real estate school yet, their sole function is only to teach you what you need to know to pass the test. They will not teach you how to sell real estate. They will not teach you where to find a business. They will teach you none of that. The only thing they're going to teach you on are the things that you need to know so you can go to PSI and pass the test. That's all they're going to do.
Okay, cool. Got to pass the test. There is a state and federal. You have to do 90 hours of class. Then you got to take the test. You got to cram for the test. Then you take the test. Taking the test costs $150. If you pass one, but fail the other, guess what? You're gonna come back, you're gonna pay $150. You fail in both, you fail in one, no matter how many times you're gonna take them, it's $150. Okay? So sometimes people are like, I'm not prepared for the national, I'm only prepared for the state. Just take both of them because you could pass, and then you don't have to pay twice. Okay? Cool. So now once you paid, or you've taken your test and you passed, now you got to pick yourself a broker. So the question is, what company do you go to? Do you go to the old traditional companies? You go to the independent, or do you come to the great Keller, right? I already know your answer. You're wearing a red shirt. Okay, good. Okay, from there, once you pick your brokerage, you need to turn in your application. And because it's awesome, it's going to take between, real estate school takes between 2 and 8 weeks. Guys like Jim, how long did it take you to go to school?
From start to finish, 52 days.
That's the whole process. I'm talking just the school.
Oh, it's a minimum 8 days you have to be down on.
So it took Jim like 10.5 days. He was like crazy on this stuff. But typically 2 weeks to 8 weeks, depending on what your schedule is and stuff like that. The time frame from when you turn in your application to when you're actually your license comes in, and it comes to the brokerage that you signed up with. That time frame is also 2 to 6 weeks. Mostly depending on how long your fingerprints are done. How long. Okay? You're still not a licensed agent though until the license is actually in-house of the license or of the brokerage. Now that's cool, except for the fact that you need to join a thing called the GLBAR. It's the man. You're not going to get anything except for a cool pin that has that on it and a couple of deposit things. But you have to do it so you have the access to the MLS. You're now joining the club. It's going to cost you about $1,700. Okay? This now you have access to the MLS. You can see what houses are for sale. You're able to list homes, all that kind of stuff. But we're not done. We also have dues in January, April, and October. This is your startup cost for transitioning into being the broker, okay? He's created an amazing onboarding process because Keller Williams is like this gigantic elephant. You're like, I don't want to freaking take on this whole thing. So what Jim has done is created a process for your first 100 days to slowly plug into Keller Williams. So by the time the 100 days is up, you now are plugged in. Your websites are set up, your databases are up and going. You know how to fill out a contract. You know how to do the paperwork. You know how the process goes. He's got a cool process. What do you call it? It's the Mickey Mouse process?
It's a test client program, and Mickey Mouse is your first client.
And he buys a house. Where is he typically looking to?
Greenville area, but he also likes 1600 Pennsylvania. So we'll teach you how to buy the White House.
Right. So the deal is this: is he does a good job making Mouse acting like he is an agent or a client. You went through it, right?
I did, and if you don't respond right away, you get upset and keep emailing me.
So, and the cool thing is, like, let's say you run into somebody who wants to buy a house, like, your second week, you're like, crap, I don't know anything. The cool thing with real estate, and especially Keller Williams, we're totally tech, behind the scenes, you can write contracts with not having to be in front of your clients. You could do all the stuff, let me show the houses, and then you're gonna, perfect. I'm gonna go and write up the offer, and behind the scenes, with your broker, your assistant broker, and your partnerships, will help you write that contract. So you don't have to look like an idiot in front of your client. Say, perfect, we're gonna go ahead, because it's true, right? You're like, crap, I don't know anything. We'll make you look good, and then behind the scenes, we're gonna go and learn through the process. That's awesome. Cool. So the other thing is Keller Williams, because we were ranked #1 for training and education, we have classes like this. Ignite. Ignite is taught, what this is for is to teach agents how to close their first 16 transactions. It literally goes step by step exactly what you need to do in real estate. From things like how do you work your database, to how do you do open houses, to here is a buyer's consultation, make and receive offers, and we're literally stepping you through the process. It's got role plays, it's got real plays, it's got scripts, it's got everything you need. Mitch.
Well, I just wanted to point out that when we wrote that program, I was with the group of 50 agents who wrote that program. I don't know how long ago. And when we wrote it on the basis of what does an agent need to do the first day they get in the business, up and through their about 90 to 120 days. And it's designed to get some classroom time in the morning with other people like yourself, and then have the opportunity to actually take what you learn in the morning and go out and do it in the afternoon, and then come back a couple of days later, go over what you did, be held somewhat accountable to the things that you should have been doing, and then learn some new skill and take that out of the market and do it again. And keep doing that repetitive conditioning motion so you learn how to do certain things over and over and over again and get stronger. So by the time you're done with that, you can move into the next phase of your business and coaching.
Right. So very, very much like a football game. You do the offense, and then you run off the field, and you sit next to the coach, and they go over, okay, you did this really good. This isn't working. They're killing us here. This is going to surround you with people that are going through the exact same thing you are, but then you have a coach who, by the way, is famous in this town and even across the country for training. Jimmy Day is an amazing trainer. This is nothing. Everything that we do, for the most part, at Keller Williams, there's no cost to. If you want to buy the book, it's $40. But
You can sit in the class.
you can sit in the class
Over and over and over and over again.
and we'll just train the crap out of it. So, great question. Does that answer your question on what Keller Williams can do to kind of get you going? Okay. What are the questions? Okay, I'm going to talk to you about how you get leads. I mean, this is one of the things that you guys ask. Create leads and conversion. How to get the business. Okay. This is really exciting. Okay. You guys know what sphere of influence is? The sphere of influence, this is you, this is your family, this is your friends, these are your acquaintances, and these people in the area. The sphere of influence are these people right here. These are the people that either you're aware of or they're aware of you. Not saying that you're best friends with these dudes, you're hanging out with them all the time. What this is saying is they are aware of who you are and you're aware of 236 transactions times 6,000. Maybe calculator.
192,000.
Huh?
192.
It's $192,000 worth of commission or CGI. Or not CGI, all that. Did anybody use this much money? When you say yes or no. Okay. 200 people, you think you might know 200 people? Keller Williams teaches you how to do this. And the cool thing is we're going to teach you how to do it the right way. Not throw money at places. A lot of people are going to say, spend money on marketing and advertising, do the mailers and all that kind of stuff, buy internet leads. The fact is, you know people. We teach you exactly how to build your business so you have control of your own business here. Did that answer your question for how you get leads, how you convert leads, that kind of stuff? Okay. Yeah.
Do we give leads or teach them how to be successful?
Awesome. So one of Keller Williams' philosophy is we teach you how to fish, we don't give you fish. Because if you know how to fish, that gives you all the power in the world. If I give you leads all the time and all of a sudden I cut you off, are you kind of screwed? Yeah. So we teach you, we empower you. We want you to want to be here, not have to be here. Okay. Last thing, let's talk about the shift market and then any other questions. The market, just to let you guys know, the market is currently good. We all know that it went like this in Vegas, right? 2007, we were here. Market crashed, I think, everywhere, but it hurt us really, really bad in Vegas. In about 2011 is where we hit the bottom. About 2010, 2011. Markets go in cycles. Typically, the time from here to here in the cycle is usually 7 to 9 years. What we could say, uh-oh, because that would put us at about 2016, right? You're like, guys, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to get real estate right. Well, the cool thing is you don't have a playbook, and you don't know how to deal with the shift, then you are saying, uh-oh. But Gary Keller wrote this book. And he says, hey, guys, this is not a bad thing. In fact, a shift is a good thing. It cleans out bad agents, and the good agents have an opportunity to make more money. The rest of this, other companies out there do not have this book. And what this book is, there's 12 sections on how to prepare yourself, protect yourself from the shift. Now, do I think this is what's going to happen? I don't know. All I know is I'm going to prepare like this is going to happen. Because guess what? If this never happens, and I'm treating my business like it is a shift, you think I'll even make more money? Heck yeah. And if there is a shift, and there's a little bit of shift in the market, which it always is shifting, I'm actually going to be in better shape than everyone else. So we teach the shift. In fact, we have class every single month on this. My leadership is reading this book. Is it going to be 2016, 2017? I don't know. Gary Keller says it's already here.